Now, you've done one of these before, right?
No.
Okay, so this is your first
First
DC
time.
Art Academy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the process is pretty simple. You're going to draw a piece of art for us,
Yeah.
and we're going to give it out to one of the fans. Did I mention that we're going to give out a piece of art if you stay to the end of this whole session? So that's what's out there. So I just wanted to warn you in advance in case you did something, too valuable or sketchy or whatever. So it's up to you to choose the character you want to draw. Who would you like to draw today?
I think I'm gonna be drawing the Joker.
You're going to do the Joker?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the impetus for choosing the Joker?
I don't know. I just drew Batman and Robin last Thursday at the panel, so I think I'm just gonna go with the Joker.
So that's pretty cool because, Batman's been on our mind, turned 80 years, now has over 1,000 issues of Detective Comics. So we're going to do the Joker. Now, have you gotten to draw the Joker in comics before? I mean, maybe DC Universe versus He-Man or something like that? Have you done Joker already for us?
Excuse me?
The Joker. Where was the last time you drew the Joker?
The last time, I guess, it was last... Rather than the Outlaws, I did...
Oh, yeah, Red Hood and the Outlaws, then, okay.
Yeah. It was a couple of pages. I did a few scenes of him. Yeah.
And I don't even know I was thinking, Jason Todd can't ever get too far
I
away from
know.
the Joker. It always comes back again.
Yeah.
Okay, so in drawing the Joker, where do you start?
I'm doing a headshot, actually.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, obviously, we're limiting you to a sketch, and so.
well,
it's gonna
mostly,
be,
I just... I think I'll just do a layout of the whole thing, whole face first.
And by the way, they can see everything you're doing up above, and that's what
Yeah.
they're seeing is over there. So you get rough objects and shapes together.
Yeah.
Now, where did you first get the idea that comic books was something that somebody could do for a living, as opposed to just drawing for fun?
I was basically I have no idea it was gonna be a job for me at first, but I got familiar with it when I was a kid when I was collecting X-Men cards back then.
Okay, yeah, because this is what, in the 90s?
In the 90s,
Yeah,
those X-Men cards by Jim Lee.
Yeah, well.
And then from my classmates back then when I was in grade school, he lent me a comic book by, it was X-Men, I guess.
So you got a Jim Lee
Got familiar
X-Men
with
issue
it.
as well, and you'd seen a lot of the art just from the cards?
Yeah, and I try to imitate those things on my notebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Now, this was in the Philippines, right?
yeah, in the Philippines.
And now the Philippines has one of the great comic book traditions of all time. Comics, they produce some of the greatest DC artists, guys like Nestor Redondo, Alfredo Alcala.
Will Sportacio.
What?
Will Sportacio.
Oh, yes, Will
Yeah.
Sportacio. We got to name some current ones here, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Will's, he's tied into the Jim Lee and the Wildstorm guys and all that.
Image
so.
guys, yes.
So when you were first coming in, were you using the same tools and stuff that you're using today, or is what you're using to draw changed over time?
When I first started, I just used pencils most of the time, pencils and inks. But nowadays I use brush.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird because it's my first time using it. But as I get used to it, I think I get improvements, and it's like a good practice because it's a different tool, different medium, and then you get to learn from it, and that's the interesting part. Yeah.
And then the tool you use dictates a new style and other things like that. You have just a lot of detail in your work, which, again, either is going to be a pencil or, a digital type of thing. Have you been messing at all with digital?
Yes.
Doing digital?
Yeah, I also, most of my pages actually digital, but when it's too close to the deadline, when it's too close to the deadline, I use digital. Most of the time, I use digital work. So, but when it's like when it's still mellow, I just do things like traditionally.
Now, what do you think is the key to making a scary Joker? Is it the nose? Is it the mouth? Is there a feature that stands out to you?
I think giving him a big smile and a grim look, that's make him really scary. That's what I think. Yeah.
Did you have a favorite Joker artist? That's a tough question. There's a lot of
I
good
can't think
jokers.
of any
No, it's okay. No, it's
for
on the
now.
spot. You're gonna be here. You didn't know you were going to come in and answer Joker questions. Do
Yeah.
you have a question? Yeah. I think she was asking about chalk.
Chalk.
Yeah. You ever use chalk as a medium?
Actually, I haven't tried it yet.
yeah.
So mostly just pencils, inks,
For
brushes.
future generations, when you've run out of all the tricks you can do with these other
That's
things.
interesting, though.
Yeah.
Chalk.
Well, it's interesting because we're talking about Jim, and Jim keeps finding that you can make art with almost all kinds of stuff. And I think he always argues that people would ask, what kind of pen do you use? What kind of pencil do you
Usually
use?
it doesn't matter what.
Right?
Yeah.
It
That
does-
actually doesn't matter what medium you use, as long as you can. The most important thing is the result.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you go. You're not going to get a tip about what pen to buy because it's the artist
Doesn't
that
matter,
draws
actually.
and not the pen. So, well, he's nice and creepy. I got to give you that. So. Was it fun drawing the Outlaws? You had basically a dark version of Superman, a dark version of Wonder Woman, and a dark Batman. You get to kind of do the Trinity, but in this sort of inverse, reverse fashion. Did you feel like that was happening when you're doing Red Hood and the Outlaws? That they were like an evil Trinity? Well, not evil. I don't
Not
want to say that
actually
about
evil,
Jason.
yeah. Like more
That
of
was
like
harsh.
not a rival as well, but I can't think of any words to explain it. But
Well, I think you said it before in other interviews. It's like you concentrated on their friendship.
yeah,
That you built three people who were independent and didn't feel like they connected in the world. And, how is poor Bizarro Superman going to feel like he's connected in anything? And in the series of pages that you draw, they become a family.
yes, that's what I like about the story and the story Scott Lobdell, my writer, did, because it's very human and you can very much relate to them. I think that's why the readers like it, because it's very human-like relationship between each other, three of them. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's some really magical moments in that. I know the one that gets pointed out a lot is Jason Todd teaching Bizarro how to go to sleep by listening to the sounds of the city, and those
I
are
remember that, yeah.
when you get moments like that, do you realize it when you get the script? Like, oh, I got to do this one a little special. This is the key moment in the script.
Yeah, I actually remember that, and I was blown away by the dialogue that Scott wrote there, and I was blown away. And I think I need to give justice to it. I need to draw a really good picture out of it, so the readers can really grab onto it.
But you experience it first as a reader in reading the script, and you have this emotional feeling.
I know.
Brings a tear to your eye. You're like, okay, well, I got to bring a tear to their eyes here. Yeah. And that's the really a powerful thing is, I mean, look, you've read a million comics. I've read a million comics. And yet there are still moments where we flip a panel and tears come, or your voice gets choked, or you're filled with that sense of belonging and friendship. I mean, one of the great things about the team books is these families that find each other and build a family together from these disparate parts. All right, so now we've gone into inks. What's the first thing you try to do when you're trying to get that down on the paper?
Just basically go for it, actually. So. I just make sure I get the right places where the black is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even in the construction, you're thinking about light, right? I mean, how
Yeah.
the shadows and other things play. But I also just got to figure that everything about the Joker has to be a little bit chaotic. Like, you can't just have short hair parted to the side. It's got to fly out and have a manic quality. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, you have a real brush there.
Yeah.
Do you ever switch up between brush and ballpoint or something else?
Yeah, sometimes, mostly brushes lately. And then I just finish up some thin lines with inks.
Well, I apologize. I talk too much, so we're running out of time. So I'm going to let you get that drawing in there. We are going to give this drawing away. So we're going to have to ask a trivia question to answer it. Let's see, what can we ask on this one? Okay. as we were talking about today, one of Dexter's great works is Red Hood and the Outlaws. Oh, there's the editor right there, Alex Antone. There you go. So, yeah. Alex
Yeah.
is one of the good people in comics, so I like to shout him out. So, Red Hood and the Outlaws, Jason Todd
Yeah, that's my best editor actually.
right, is formerly Robin. Who had the name Red Hood first? Joker. Yeah. I mean, come on. I know, Harley, you're upset, but look. Did you see what, I mean, I think the drawing was kind of hers anyways. I know that Harley's got this connection. No, you know what? You're better off without him. You don't need him. Yeah. Poison Ivy is much nicer to you. I would just, yeah. But to each their own. Make your own choices. That's right. Remember Harley Quinn once so romantic that she was kicked out of hell. So we're getting this blacked out. Do you have any last words or advice or anything you're dying to share out with the audience?
Devices, art-wise, if you want to break into comics, actually, you just need to be a really good storyteller. That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then work on your rendering style. Practice every day, especially. When you have art blocks, don't get too stressed about it, and just carry on. There's always tomorrow, so you can improve on it.
I could do.
That's about it. Yeah.
A ladybug.
So there you heard it. Practice.
Your boyfriend's name is
Don't give up.
Silence.
Keep working at it, but also learn how to be not just a great illustrator, but a storyteller. That there are these incredible choices that have to be made about where you put the images and the panels and everything else, and that's the true art form. So you also, it's a as Dexter will tell you, it is a timeline, deadline-driven business. So you don't have 6 days to turn around one page. You need to be able to work faster and find the economy. And then you also shouldn't be put under pressure where you have to do a fully rendered drawing in under 15 minutes and talk. So there you go. Okay, so what's that? Oh no, you're just waiting for your drawing. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we give it up for Dexter Soy? Thank you for spending your time and drawing this out for us. We're going to do something else on the booth, but we're going to have some more DC Art Academy sessions this afternoon here on the same stage. Also, if you haven't seen it yet and you're looking to get out of this busy hall, go over to Balboa Park and see the AT&T Batman Experience. We've got literally 2 Batmobiles sitting there. Michael Keaton's Batman costume. We got some comics we took back from the DC Comics archives and vault that are there, and it's free. You don't need to have a badge to go in. You can just go in there and it's during Comic-Con hours. So we've got that there. Enjoy the rest of the signings at the booth. We've got signs on both the Metropolis and Gotham side that you can see what signings are coming up. And we'll be here all day today and all day tomorrow. And have a wonderful con, and thank you all for reading DC Comics.